gotten some pretty rave reviews for your performance so far from Grant and Jesse and everybody. What was your sort of angle on the character coming into it, since you weren't totally familiar with the comic books? Like, what was your spin on him?
When I was cast, I went online and I Googled a few images, and some of them I responded to and some of them I did not. And then I thought, let me take my cue from what the writers have planned, because I got the sense early on that there was a willingness to respect what's come before, but also an interest in reinventing and giving things a fresh spin. So I thought, let me take the character from the pages of the script specifically. And what I responded to was this very powerful guy who I think has been at the top of his game for a long time. And maybe he's gotten a little bored, a little complacent, and then all of a sudden this extremely worthy adversary shows up, and suddenly the game is interesting again. And I think while he has it out for the Flash, on some level there's also an appreciation and a certain degree of respect. And I like the fact that he's a villain, but there are hints that other things are stirring beneath the surface.
Now this show is filled with a lot of metahumans, humans with really special abilities. How does it feel bringing the human side to the evil?
Well, I like the fact that I'm not strictly evil, that there are shades of gray, that there are things for me to kind of explore and layer in that speak to the human side of Stark, because he does have a history, and it is complicated, and it does speak to who he is now. And it's my hope that, given time, we have a chance to explore some of those things.
Captain Cold is known for wearing a blue and white parka. Is that part of your costume that you're wearing right now?
I am in costume, that I can confirm.
Had you had an itch to come back to semi-regular or regular TV acting? I mean, you've had this very successful screenwriting career that you're in the middle of as well. Had you sort of missed parts of the TV grind as well?
Thank you for the compliment. What I missed most, I think, was the sense of community, because there's a kind of family dynamic that happens organically on the set. I feel it when I come and visit this particular set. It's a very ambitious show, and the cast and the crew are in it together to put together a great story week after week after week, and that's something I'm familiar with, or was familiar with, on Prison Break. When I was writing for 2 or 3 years, and just writing, it was me alone in my living room, and I was my own boss to a certain degree, but it was also a lonely experience. I missed that sensation of, we are all in this together, and it's about putting something great on TV each and every week.
Do people out here reference Stoker at all, or is it just Prison Break, Prison Break, Prison Break?
People have brought up Stoker. People have brought up my writing. The writers on the show seem open to feedback and a back and forth about character and dialogue, and I appreciate that.
Dominic was saying that you both can kind of see Grant, and that's maybe where you were not too long ago. He's a huge up-and-comer. If Grant were to come to you for advice, what would you tell him?
I don't know if I would have listened to anyone who came to me with advice. First season Prison Break. I think you have to experience it for yourself. It's impossible to anticipate, and it's probably different to a certain degree for everyone, but he's in for a ride, that's for sure. But what I know about Grant, and I think this is one of the things that radiates from him on screen in this character, is he's got this great heart and this innate sense of decency. Like, you believe him as this character, and I think given the various challenges of a challenging business, that should serve him well.
What do you remember from sort of the initial phenomenon aspect of Prison Break that you sort of carry over as you're on a show now that's sort of building a certain amount of momentum? What do you remember from those first weeks of Prison Break coming out?
I can remember suddenly being recognized on the street, whereas the day before, the week before, I wasn't. We were shooting in Chicago. It was from one airing of the show to the next. It seemed suddenly people were recognizing me, and There's something about coming into people's homes every week, especially over the course of years, where when they finally do meet you on the street or what have you, approach you like a family member. There's a real relationship and connection that can build up.
For the latest from HitFix, visit hitfix.com or download the new HitFix app on your Roku device.